Hey, so I just had a conversation with my 16-year-old daughter, and I was able to show her an angle for thought models that really proved effective. And so I want to share that short conversation with you because thought models can be so complicated, and this belief that we just need to change our thoughts and how all that works can just be overwhelming. And so I wanted to share a short snippet of how it was applied with a 16-year-old to the point where she liked it and asked for it again, and we did it twice. I'm going to share those two examples with you quickly. So the first thing was we were kind of chatting, and she has been a little bit down lately. And so I asked her, is everything okay? And she said, I've been stressed lately. And I said, well, what's going on? And she just said, basically, I have no friends. And that's not true, but it's creating pain for her. And she kind of told me some of the stories. In reality, she does actually have a lot of friends and she knows it. But she had a breakup, if you will, with two girlfriends that were kind of her right hand wingman sort of friendships that were for 2 years. And the relationship just with the one just grew really toxic, and she made this decision, the difficult decision, to step back and literally had to kind of do a breakup. And that just left a void for her. She's kind of used to having the gal almost lived here for a couple of years, and her house was our house and all of this sort of thing. And so there's a void there. And so my daughter has moved on, and she's made friends in multiple groups and gotten out of her comfort zone. She has a new boyfriend. She's in love with him, which is that's a second conversation. But so it's not true, and she knows it. But so when she said, I have no friends, I said, are you open to me sharing something with you to see if it helps you feel better? And she's like, yeah, I am. And so I said, let's think about the thought, I have no friends. And I said, close your eyes, think that thought, and tell me how it feels in your body. And she said, well, when I think that thought, I feel heavy and sad and kind of stupid and left out. And I said, okay, all right. Well, that is a thought. I have no friends. Those are words that go in your head. It's not the truth. It's an interpretation of circumstances. It's not the real circumstance. And I said, let me show you how that thoughts work. And I said, I want you to think the thought in your head that pink elephants rule the world. She looks at me, Mom, and I go, no, close your eyes and think that. And she did, and I could see her trying to think that. And I said, okay, how did that thought make you feel? And she's like, I don't feel anything. It's stupid. It's not true. And I'm like, okay. So when you have words in your head that you don't believe, they don't cause an emotional disruption. But when you have a thought that you do believe and it's negative, then it makes you feel bad. And I said, so what if you could think a different thought? What if you decided, I don't like feeling bad in this spiral of sadness? I said, so what about, and we tried on some other thoughts. I'm like, we're going to try on some other thoughts just like shoes. And I want you to feel how they feel inside your body. And I said, and I tried a couple things that didn't go well, like I have a lot of friends. And she didn't believe that. She's not ready to jump from I have no friends to I have a lot of friends. So she didn't believe that one. And I said, okay, what about I have a few people I could call right now? And she's like, well, yeah, that one's true. I'm like, okay, like you could call your sister. You could call your friend that goes to another school out north. You could call your boyfriend. There's a couple people in your show choir that you could call that they wouldn't think that was weird. And she's like, yeah. I said, okay. So next time you're thinking, I have no friends, and you notice the heaviness that brings in, and then the cycle of heaviness that creates because you feel sad, so you start doing sad things like listening to music and driving around and thinking you have no friends. And I said, or you could change it out and think, well, I have some people I could call. And then I said, what comes next then? Like, what's the action line? I didn't say action line, but what's then? She goes, well, then I could think, okay, well, I could call so-and-so, but I don't really want to talk right now. Like, I kind of just feel like being alone. I'm like, okay, well, how does that make you feel? She's like, well, it actually makes me feel good. I like being alone. And I'm like, okay. So what I want you to take away from that is that when you notice that a thought truly triggers an emotional reaction, you have to recognize that there are other thoughts that could trigger a different emotional reaction, and then ultimately create different behaviors that then create different results in your life. And I told my daughter this. I've had the thought, I have no friends. That goes through my head a lot. And so I'm personally going to be taking away from this. Like, when I sit there and think that, what am I doing and not doing because I had that thought? So the second thought we got to is we were talking about the effects of birth control and hormones. And we're looking at that for her for a variety of reasons. And she said, I was going over the estrogen and the progesterone and all of these things. And she goes, well, I'm really worried because I still have a lot of weight to lose. And I said, ooh, do you want to play a game with that thought? And she's like, yeah, let's do that. And so I said, how does it make you feel when you think I still have a lot of weight to lose? She's like, well, it kind of makes me feel heavy and overwhelmed and fat. I'm like, okay, I get all of those things. And I said, let's try on a different thought. I said, when I look at you, I go, you've lost probably 15 or 20 pounds in the last 2 years. And she goes, well, no, I haven't. I really haven't lost any weight. I've just gotten taller. And I go, okay. So the thought I've lost 15 to 20 pounds, that doesn't work for you. I go, what about I look like I've lost 15 pounds? And she goes, yeah, okay, I'll take that one. So she believed it because it's true. And I said, okay, so when you think the thought, I look like I've lost 15 pounds, how does that make you feel? And she goes, well, actually, it makes me feel motivated because I feel good about myself. And I'm thinking, well, is it too late to go down and get on the treadmill? Or I'm not going to go finish the bag of chips in my room. I should probably make myself a salad because I look like I've lost 15 pounds and I want to keep that. And I'm like, ding, ding, ding. So I just wanted to share with you, because those are such teenage friendly examples of how thoughts create emotional reactions in our body, and then we act on those actions and we perpetuate more of the same, so that ultimately our results become a pure reflection of the thought.